Grade 11 Software Design and Development Ergonomics. Ergonomics is the study of the relationship between people and their work environment. The aim of ergonomics is to create a work environment experience that caters to physical, emotional and psychological needs. Workplaces that suffer from poor ergonomic practices tend to have increased costs and lost productivity. Factors in an office environment that can affect the health of a worker include, but are not limited to, the humidity, noise, temperature, lighting, seating, monitor type and position, and the type and placement of the keyboard and mouse. Causes of physical issues. Repetitive strain injury, RSI. Repetitive strain injury is from the repeated use of one movement and can occur in any part of the body. For computer users, it occurs mainly in the wrist, arms, hands and fingers. Carpal tunnel syndrome occurs within the bones of the wrist. Carpal tunnel syndrome is caused by the repeated movement of the wrists and can result in numbness in the fingers. Tenosynovitis is the inflammation of the tendon sheath and is from the overuse of tendons running through the carpal tunnel. This can result in numbness in the hands. Muscle strain is caused by holding muscles in a static state which restricts blood flow and prevents toxins from being removed from the area. This can be caused by long periods of sitting. These can be treated by wearing wrist and hand braces which keep the wrist in a straight position and allow tendons to move freely. Eye strain. Eye strain does not cause permanent vision problems and is caused by eye muscles constantly focusing at a fixed distance. This can result in headaches, blurred or double vision and an increased sensitivity to light. This can be accounted for by rotating jobs around and making sure that people are able to look at distant objects. General muscle strain. General muscle strain is caused by maintaining a static posture. Muscles are designed to expand and contract, so when they are held in a static position, they become depleted of oxygen and build up waste products which can result in pain. Static muscle strain is a common occurrence, especially in the back, neck, shoulders and arms. This can result from long periods of sitting. Other issues. Humidity and temperature. Humidity and temperature can lead to an uncomfortable work environment that is hard to work in. Air temperature should be kept between 20 degrees centigrade to 23 degrees centigrade, and there should be a relative humidity of 30% to 70%. Air movement should be at less than 0.2 meters per second. Noise. Noise can be distracting, making it hard to work and concentrate on the task at hand. Noise should be kept to less than 55 decibels, and sound-absorbing partitions should be used where possible. Impact or dot matrix printers should be located away from work areas or should be kept within soundproof shielding. Equipment. Equipment used should cater to the user and have an ergonomic design, and almost all equipment should be adjustable. There are also standards created for ergonomic equipment. Keyboard mouse. If your keyboard or mouse is in an awkward position, with your wrists bent, it can put pressure on your wrists. Mice and keyboards should be adjustable. The user's forearms should parallel to the ground when using a mouse or keyboard. The keyboard should be at an angle of 5 degrees to 18 degrees and have dished keys. A matte finish can help to reduce glare. If a user is expected to do extensive numeric entry, they should have a numeric keypad. The mouse should comfortably fit into the user's hand and be the same level as the keyboard. Chairs. Chairs should be adjustable with an adjustable backrest, have a footrest, lumbar support and be adequately large. Chairs should also be curved off, have 5 legs, be made of breathable fabric and use a good quality of foam. The chair should also have a low profile, and if it has armrests, they should also be adjustable. Monitors. Monitors should be of a high and appropriately placed an arm's length away so that the screen can be easily read. Monitors should be at a right angle to the line of sight, be perpendicular to light sources, and be of a high resolution. The monitor should also be 35 degrees below the horizon. The height of the monitor should be adjustable. Lighting. Appropriate lighting is needed and should be at an appropriate angle so that the screen can be easily seen. Lighting should be uniform, and blinds and curtains should be used to control light. Monitors should be positioned perpendicular to windows. Desk lamps can be used to light task areas. Preventing and minimizing injuries. Procedures should encourage ergonomic work practices, and work should be both satisfying and productive. Too little, too much or repetitive work can lead to employee stress. In order to combat this, a variety of tasks is essential. There should be a variety of different tasks at different speeds and different movement. Repetitive tasks should be avoided wherever possible. Employees should have an involvement in decisions and should be able to decide the order of their work, although they should be responsible for completing their tasks. Tasks should also be complete jobs that give a feeling of accomplishment. Work practices should address an individual's technological and organizational requirements, as well as social and personal needs. There also needs to be a balance of both the needs of the business and the needs of employees. An employee should have both formal and informal training, and the training should be ongoing. Ergonomic software design. Ergonomic software design should reduce the amount of required typing or mouse use, should be intuitive, simple, legible, and have consistency. The program should be consistent across screens, have a consistent color scheme using design standards, and have consistent font use. The program should not have an excessive use of colors, and for most cases, text should be aligned to the left. White space on the screen should not take up more than 50% of the screen. Any icons used should not have ambiguous meaning, and their purpose should be immediately obvious. The response should be quick, and short response times should be used to make results seem instantaneous. User interfaces, UIs. User interfaces should be intuitive and be able to be used with minimal training. The user should be able to easily figure out what processes are required to complete a given task. User interfaces should have consistency so that users are able to transfer skills within the application and to other applications. This includes a consistent placement of items like buttons on all screens, and the grouping of like items and unrelated items should be separated. These things allow the user to create a mental model of the software and the way it works. Consistent wording should also be used in descriptions given and in messages. There are usually design standards depending on which system you are working on. These standards should be followed as it makes learning new software and moving between different software easier. Screen elements should perform as expected. User interfaces should be flexible and allow users to complete actions in the order they require. Color should be used sparingly, and there should be sufficient contrast between text and the background. There should be consistency in the color scheme used. The use of different fonts should be kept to a minimum. Fonts should be easy to read, and there should be an obvious reason for a change in font. There should be a consistent alignment of data. Text should usually be justified to the left. Numbers should be right justified, or if there is a decimal point, the decimals should be aligned. Information could be put into frames to help the organization of data. User messages. In a software product, user messages should be the primary method of communicating with users. Messages should always use full sentences and avoid abbreviations. A good user message should be unambiguous. The program should keep consistency between user messages including wording and placement, which usually means messages appearing at the center of the screen. Good user messages also include some sort of visual clue as to the severity of the issue. This can be through the use of a symbol or image, or through the use of color. If a user message requires input from the user, the default option should not be a destructive action. Ease of use. Applications should be easy for anyone to operate with minimal training. A program should have shortcut keys and advanced functionality. Functionality should not be hidden from the user. If an option is not available to a user at a given time, the function should be grayed out and disabled.